I think I agree with Speaker Pelosi when she just said, what's to stop the president from 2 weeks from now or a month from now having an objection to something we want to do or won't sign something? And he says, again, I'll take credit for shutting down the government.
Well, he said the same of you guys. I guess what I want to be clear on, sir,
Neil, that's not fair.
I do want to be clear.
Neil, that's just not fair.
Okay, I'm sorry if I offended you.
The president said he would shut down the government.
Let me ask you, though, do you think right now that the measure that Mitch McConnell wants to advance, which is the president's idea to provide DACA funding, as long as, including that is $5.6 billion for a wall,
right.
If they were able to peel off some Democrats for that, what would you think of them voting for that?
I don't think he's going to peel off any Democrats. They think the government ought to be open, number one. Number two, then there ought to be a negotiation. When you say he made a DACA offer and a TPS offer, those with temporary protective status and those children who came here as infants or small children by their parents, he created those problems. He created problems. Now he says, well, I'll solve them for you, or temporarily or partially solve them for you. That's not negotiation, and very frankly,
well, you did say it was a big mistake when he did that, and you're right. He caved to the right in his party. Now he's trying to make right with that, you could argue. So would you meet him on that? If he's saying, I made a mistake with that, I think we should include that, would you be open to that?
I think that's moving in the right direction, but very frankly, he's not saying that. What he's saying is, I'll give a 3-year extension on both TPS and DACA. I think that's a step in the right direction, but we ought to get DACA done,
so
and we ought to get TPS done.
So you wouldn't be angry at any Democratic senator, I know it's not your house, but any Democratic senator who voted for that?
I don't think any Democratic senator is going to vote for it because of the context in which those two proposals are made. It's not a negotiation. It's if he wanted to negotiate, make an offer, but he didn't make an offer. He said, this is going to be the bill, vote for it or vote against it. That's not a negotiation.
Well,
very frankly, Neil, remember the president asked to remember.
I understand, and you're saying he's not budging, and that his people argue you guys aren't budging now that he's made these offers. But I do want to ask you this. They're insistent, apparently, in planning for a State of the Union address and even sort of giving an opportunity to scope things out there to have that address. Do you think the president is within his right to have a State of the Union address in the well of the House?
Within his right? Now, that's a technical term, and the answer to that is no. The president comes here at the invitation of the Congress, and particularly the House, to address the Congress of the United States.
Nancy Pelosi didn't disinvite him. She just said she didn't think it was a good idea, right?
Neil, I'm not conversant with apparently the president said something. I didn't hear that, and I don't know what response there's been.
I'm sorry, I wasn't clear, and that's my fault.
But that's all right, Neil.
Nancy Pelosi didn't disinvite him. She just didn't think it was a good idea. Would actually prefer during this shutdown that he delivered in writing, if he delivered it at all. Do you think that the president, if he said, no, I want to go there in person and address everybody, would you, Steny Hoyer, be open to that?
Sure.
And do you think Nancy Pelosi would?
Look, I don't know what the discussions have been, so I don't want to say. But very frankly, keeping the government shut down, I know you get bored of hearing that, but you got 800,000 people who now for a month have not gotten paid. What way is that to treat any employee, much less a federal employee who's working for the people of the United States? It is wrong to do that. The president's using it as a strategy, and he ought to change that immediately, and he ought to tell McConnell, sign one of those bills. We've sent 10 bills. As of tomorrow, we're going to send 10 bills to the Senate that would have accomplished opening up the government. They haven't taken up one of them. I understand they're going to take up one possibly tomorrow or on Thursday. I think that's good news.